Hello, and welcome to World History, Unit 1 Intro to World and Early Civilizations, Lesson 6 Mesopotamia. Our essential question for this class and lesson is Hammurabi's Code, was it just? Our agenda and goal statement, I can understand the development of government structure in ancient societies. Lesson 2 City States in Mesopotamia. The earliest civilization in Asia arose in Mesopotamia and organized into city states. If you look at this map, you will see Africa, the continent of Africa, and the continent of Asia. This is the area where you have the early river valley civilizations. Early humans migrated out of Africa and went north into Egypt, crossing the land bridge at the Sinai Peninsula into Asia. Egypt and the Nile River is one of the early river valley civilizations, as you can see here on the map. Then you have Mesopotamia, the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, which is called the Fertile Crescent because you see the two rivers are here and this area looks like a crescent. When you go down to or south and east into the Indus River Valley area, which is currently India and Pakistan area. The next river valley civilization starts at Huanghe or the Yellow River in China. These areas are the early river valley civilizations around 3000 BC or BCE. Geography of the Fertile Crescent. The Fertile Crescent is the arc of land between the Persian Gulf and the Mediterranean. So if you go back to this map, you see that the Mediterranean Sea is here and the Persian Gulf is here. It includes Mesopotamia, a land between two rivers, or a fertile plain. And it is fertile because it has two rivers, the Tigris and the Euphrates rivers. They flood once a year, leaving rich soil on the earth, and that is what they use for the crops that they grow, this rich soil that comes from the rivers. Environmental challenges. Around 3300 BC or BCE, Sumerians began farming southern Mesopotamia. The environment poses three disadvantages. Floods are unpredictable, sometimes there's no rain. The land offers no barriers to invasion because it's flat, and the land has few natural resources. So the building materials are scarce. They solved the problems through organization. Sumerians worked together, find solutions to environmental challenges, and these are some of the ways that they did that by building irrigation ditches to control water and produce crops. They built walls around the cities for defense. They traded the grain, cloth, and tools for raw materials such as stone, wood, and metal. The organization, leadership, and laws are beginning of civilization. By 3000 BC or BCE, Sumerians built cities surrounded by fields of crops. Each is a city state. A city state definition is an independent political unit. And when you see these words that are highlighted in orange with the definitions next to them, please be sure to pause the video and write down those key terms and those definitions because those are very important. Sumer city states Uruk, Kish, Lagash, Umma, and Ur. Each city has a temple and a ziggurat. Priests appeal to gods in the ziggurat. And you see in this picture the ziggurat and the people and how they lived in the area. The priests and rulers share control of the city states. Sumer's early governments controlled by temple priests, and some military leaders become rulers as well. Dynasties rule after 2500 BC. And what is a dynasty? A dynasty is a series of rulers from a single family. Now, don't get confused. Sumer or Sumerians are from Mesopotamia. So, Mesopotamia, think of it like a country. In the country, you have cities, and those cities include states. And the state is it's a country. Mesopotamia is like a country, and it has states. The state in Mesopotamia is Sumeria or Sumer. In Sumer, you have Uruk, Umma, etc. These cities. Okay, so Mesopotamia is the whole area as a whole. Then places like Sumeria are the states. Okay, so the spread of cities by 2500 BCE or BC, many new cities in the Fertile Crescent had developed, and the Sumerians exchanged products and ideas with other cultures. Cultural diffusion. Cultural diffusion is the process of one culture spreading to others. Religion of many gods. The Sumerian culture has beliefs in many gods. This is called polytheism. Polytheism is the belief in many gods. Remember, the word poly means many, and theism is beliefs in God. Gods are thought to control forces of nature in Sumerian culture and religion, and the gods behave as humans do, but people are God's servants. Life after death is bleak and gloomy, and this is the belief of their religion. Life in Sumerian society also has some social classes, such as kings, landholders, priests, and those are at the top. The wealthy merchants were next. At the lowest levels are the slaves. Women have many rights, and they can become priests, merchants, and artisans. Sumerians have science and technology that we still use today in our modern age. Sumerians invented the wheel, the sail, and the plow, and first to use bronze. They make advances in arithmetic and geometry, and they develop arches, columns, ramps, and pyramids for building. They have a complex system of writing, and that complex system of writing is called cuneiform. They study astronomy, chemistry, and medicine. And you see the diagram here. The first empire builders. From 3000 to 2000 BC or BCE, city states had constant war. Sargon of Akkad. Around 2350 BCE or BC, Sargon from Akkad defeats city states of Sumer. He creates the first empire. What is an empire? An empire is an independent states under control of one leader. His dynasty lasts about 200 years. Babylonian Empire. The Amorites, nomadic warriors, take control of a region around 2000 BC or BCE. They make Babylon on the Euphrates River the capital. Babylonian Empire at peak during Hammurabi's rule, which is between 1792 and 1750 BC. All right. The Code of Hammurabi. The Code of Hammurabi was the first law system created in the Middle East civilization. The laws were written in stone and was placed in the public location so everyone could take a look at the 282 laws that the citizens should be obeyed. The laws might seem hard by today's standards, but Hammurabi created those laws because he wanted everyone to be responsible for their own actions, and Hammurabi wanted the citizens all to be fair. The original stone is located now in the Louvre Museum in France. Hammurabi's code creates a code of laws for the Babylonian Empire. And again, as we said, there were 282 laws, all on different aspects of life, engraved in stone and made public. It set different punishments depending on social class and gender. The goal for the government is to take responsibility for order and justice. Amorite rule for the Fertile Crescent ends 200 years after Hammurabi, but Hammurabi's code is important in history because even today, in the modern world, we use coded laws. And when you say code, it means they're numbered. Code means numbered. The laws are numbered. Here are some examples of the Code of Hammurabi. These are 20 of the out of the 282. Number one, if anyone is committing robbery and is caught, then he shall be put to death. If a son strikes his father, his hand shall be cut off. If a man knocks out the teeth of his equal, his teeth shall be knocked out. If a slave says to his master, "You are not my master," then the master will cut off the slave's ear. If a man says that another man has cast a spell on him, then the witch shall go to the river and jump in. If he drowns, then the man who caught the witch shall take the witch's house. If the witch is able to swim, then he is not a witch at all, and the man who accused him shall be put to death instead. If a man has stolen goods from a temple, he shall be put to death. If someone accepts stolen property, he shall be put to death. If a man has stolen a child, he shall be put to death. If a man has caught either a male or female runaway slave and has brought him back to his owner, the owner shall give him 2 silver coins. If a man has broken into a house, he shall be killed in front of the doorway into the house and buried there. If a fire has broken out in a man's house and someone comes to put the fire out but steals property while he's there, that man shall be thrown into a fire. If a son says to his father, "You are not my father," or to his mother, "You are not my mother," his tongue shall be cut out. If a man is knocked out the teeth of the upper class citizen, his own eye, if a man has knocked out the eye of an upper class citizen, his own eye shall be knocked out. And I'm on number 13. Now I'm on number 14. Number 14. If a man has broken the limb of an upper class citizen, his own limb shall be broken. Number 15. If a man knocks out the eye of a servant slave, he shall pay half the value of that servant slave. So you see, if a man has knocked out the eye of an upper class citizen, his own eye shall be knocked out. But if a man knocks out the eye of a servant or a slave, he shall pay half the value of that servant or slave. If a veterinary surgeon has treated an ox or animal and has cured it, the owner shall pay the surgeon a silver coin. If a veterinary surgeon has treated an ox or animal and caused it to die, he shall pay a silver coin to the owner. If a builder has built a house for a man, and the house he built has fallen and caused the death of its owner, the builder shall be put to death. If its owner's son, if if it is the owner's son that is killed, the builder's son shall be put to death. If it is the slave of the owner that is killed, the builder shall give a slave for a slave to the owner of the house. All right, so those are examples of Hammurabi's code, and they are all numbered. All right, so Hammurabi's code, I read the whole thing with all 20 laws. With 20 laws, I mean, it's 282. So we just got a glimpse of what the laws or the code of Hammurabi says. So answer the question, Hammurabi's code, was it just? Important vocabulary. Number one, Fertile Crescent. Two, Mesopotamia. Three, City State. Four, Dynasty. Cultural diffusion. Five, six, Polytheism. Seven, Empire. And eight, Hammurabi.